So we got Chris Carls with us today, music artist and CEO of Dummy Slick Productions. We're gonna be talking about life. We're gonna be talking about music and whatever else comes to mind. Feel free to drop a comment, drop a like, because those likes are appreciated. Those are 100% free. And of course, share, share, share. We'll be right back with you after the intro video. Okay, we are back. Just realized that we were not set the public on a couple of fronts, but for the most part we are now live. So like those who are catching up, you didn't see our original video. I just realized I'm broadcasting from Restream and not StreamYard. So what's going on, Chris, man?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, so talk to the people, man. Like you was with us on a very earlier episode.
Yeah, I think
Uh
Christmas, Halloween,
yeah,
something
around
like that.
Christmas
Both of
time.
them.
Give us another reintroduction, man, about about yourself and about what you got going on.
All right, well, I'm Chris Carls. I run Dummy Slick Productions. My stage name is Dummy Slick. Um, I released Two Slick, the album, about a couple of months ago, so that's out. And then we're working on Moonclip Volume 1 right now, which is another thing. So we're on Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can stream music, you'll find it. So if you just look up Dummy Slick, there's the music. We're gonna be taking the video stuff more seriously, putting out more videos, more content like that. A couple of short films, couple, work on that. Kind of find our niche, find out what people want, what they like, and go from there.
So like if we rewind it back just a little bit, and we still on topic, like how long ago did you get off into this? Because like just to see your career broadening like this and blossom like this, so you getting into the films, like you got a real cool one, man. That you playing a bad guy in that one, and you're doing some other things, man. So how long ago did you get off into doing this?
So like graphic design was always like a big thing for me in school. I took a lot of graphic design classes in school, and then I liked acting because I just like entertainment. Period. If you can entertain people, that's a great thing to me.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, if you can sacrifice what you're doing with yourself to make other people happy, that's, I feel like you're doing the right thing. So yeah, like I started getting serious. I was always dibbling and dabbling since after school, but I started getting serious about it about the beginning of 2021, the end of 2020. So that was when I started, and I've just been going at it since.
Okay. Yeah. So that wasn't really that long ago.
No.
And do you feel like it was like a bit of like a learning curve to like transition over to like just say like okay, this music thing is it's still art when you look at it. It's still, I'm still tapping into my creative side, but
Yeah.
there's a little bit of like navigating through, like you said earlier, like really getting to know what my demographics like, and all that other stuff that comes along with just this industry.
So my like the big thing for me was always like I love music. Music is just a great outlet in general. That's one of my favorite forms of art.
Mhm.
So to me, like because I do mainly hip hop, whatever you know what I'm saying. Since that's like the main thing is lyricism. It's like I've always like had growing up like that kind of stuff was always like a big influence for me. So like I always kind of I never see myself as I don't want to be like a great up there. Like I couldn't care if I'm famous as long as I have like a nice little fan base of people that like my music, enjoy what I do. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm doing it for a reason. Yeah, I just I never want to see myself as one of the greats because they all do that. Like they're the ones who started it. So like anything recently that people make music wise, it's like there is no real originality unless you're like sitting there and doing some experimental stuff. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's you gotta like acknowledge that everybody before you is why you're here today. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
There's a lot of people that don't look at it from that angle. There's a lot of self-absorbed people nowadays. A lot of people that really think of it like, okay, well, with what I'm doing right now, uh, all that stuff that happened before me, it really doesn't matter, you
Yeah.
know. So my originality is just based off is just out of thin air. They don't say it that way, but you kind of get that sense, man. Like where do your humility come from, man? Because a lot of people like kind of lack that, man, and it's really rare to find somebody who's willing to humble themselves and really appreciate um that of like other people, man.
Well, I dibble and dabble in psychedelics, so those kind of those kind of experiences kind of humble you
Yeah.
because you like realize you're not so big in the world and like everything that's going on is just to me everything is random. So it's like if these people before me didn't do what they did, I wouldn't have the ideas to make the songs that I'm making. You know what I'm saying? If
Hmm.
this other person didn't make this beat that I'm writing to, I wouldn't have had the inspiration to make a certain song. You know what I'm saying? Because when I write, it's always like pick a beat, write to the beat. So I can't freestyle for shit. So I just write all my stuff. Um, and yeah, like without the people before me to give me a kind of an idea of like I don't know flavor, because like to me lyrical rap is my favorite kind of rap. Like you have to be saying something, and I mean it's not like everybody's not saying something, but it's like you got to be saying something like to keep my interest. Like if it's just
Right.
like yeah 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 yeah, I'm not gonna pay attention unless you as long if it's something like you're just going
Yeah.
in crazy.
Right.
So it's like yeah, like just early and from the because I'm from the '90s, so it's like the hip hop was just a huge thing for me. Yeah, it was just a huge influence. I think just entertainment period, like because I love movies too. Like anything is like all those people that did that stuff for you. Like
Mhm.
there's people when I was a kid that I was looking up to. They're like 70 something years old, and I was just looking at the thing on my phone the other day. I was looking at people's ages. I'm like, holy crap, these people are like 40, 50, 60 now, and then like it felt like they were young when I'm watching these movies. You know what I'm saying? And like it's crazy to see like life progress.
Yeah. And like I got a real interesting, take on the psychedelics and like because there's different routes to get to the
Yeah,
space that like people like you are in, and for me personally, it just took like just being just suffering, man, just pure suffering and trauma,
yeah,
and like psychedelics is like really like kind of like like make you face all of that.
yes, for sure.
What age were you when you kind of like dabbled in that, and what was that initial experience like? And
Uh,
would you recommend it to anybody else?
so I think the first time I tripped was on acid. I was about 16 or 17,
Mhm.
and that was it was very intense because it was like it wasn't. I was able to like in my mind know that like oh you're on something. So it was like the whole time I wasn't like freaking out. I wasn't into this space where I was like oh I'm not gonna be okay because everybody always told me like like when you trip if you're not taking like a crazy dose and you're not the only enemy you have when you're tripping is yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you're with yourself, like you're tripping. So it's like if you're not with people you're comfortable with and everything. I was lucky enough to be with like my best friend when it happened, and yeah, it was just like it was crazy because it's almost like so like in Twilight when they become like when the chick became a vampire or whatever, like all her senses got like heightened and everything looked all like
Hmm.
like you could look at a desk that you've seen your whole life and then you're like whoa like that's new what's all these scratches what is all that like you get super in tune with your senses um but then like it's kind of like a roller coaster of waves emotion so it's like you'll get down you'll be like down and then you'll be like oh okay everything's kind of like going back to normal and then it's like whoa never mind and then now you're like thinking about stuff and you're like you're I don't know. It's definitely something you have to be like mentally prepared for. I don't think if you have like a mental illness or something, you shouldn't take it unless it's like therapy wise. Like you should have like a sitter, like a guide, like a therapist to like talk you through it.
Right.
But like it's legal and stuff in Colorado for psilocybin. I'm pretty sure. So that's nice. The best psilocybin trip I had was like 7 grams, and I felt like at one point like my body was like it was like vibrating on one wave, vibrating on the other. So it was like all my negative energy was being pulled down, and all my positive energy was floating up. And then I was just stuck in the middle, so I was feeling like three different versions of my body at one time. So stuff like that, like it's an experience for sure. But I'd say I wouldn't do it like it's not weed. It's not like
No, no,
if you
it's not
can't
like
handle
weed.
edibles,
Right.
you shouldn't trip, man.
No,
Because
not at
if
all.
you get anxious or if you get anything like that, it might if you don't know what you're doing, if you're going into it wrong, you can fuck yourself up.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I said, if when you're doing it that way, the way you're doing it and the way you have done it, and the way a lot of other people, use it for therapeutic, and also just for like the spiritual heightness that it can give you, to start like getting on a journey to really
Yeah,
like start understanding like what the hell's going on, and kind of get out of this matrix. It's like, yeah, it works, but like if you're just doing it just to do it, like, oh, that's what experiment. I want to try this drug. I want to try this drug. That's when you really cause a lot of damage to yourself. And
yeah,
and yeah, there's a lot of people that cause a lot of damage to themselves, just because they don't have a guide, a shaman, or a therapist, or some spiritual leader that they go back and kind of consult with. Um, so yeah, man, that's good advice that it's good you put that disclaimer out there too. Behind
yeah. I
that.
don't take a lot of drugs, like to me, like the hardcore drugs, I'd never try that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying, crack
Right.
cocaine, all that kind of shit. I've done Molly, you know what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure that probably not the best, but you know, I've done blow a couple of times. It's not something that's like, like drugs to me, like the ones I fuck with, the mainly are psychedelics or weed, THC
Mhm.
products. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need, I don't need it to like. To me, I like being able to like alter my mind state
Right.
to the point where it's like not, I'm not going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just
Hmm.
in an elevated, like I'm more happy or I'm more like creative when I get like that. I'd rather not because I've seen what other kind of drugs do to people. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't grow up.
Yeah.
I grew up like moving around a lot, so it's like you see a lot of people. You see like I didn't have the best childhood growing up, so it's like I've seen what drugs and shit like that do to people. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. You know what I'm saying? People have to make their own choices, and but yeah, like if you're gonna do anything, psychedelics, or if you can't handle that, just smoke. Because even drinking, I feel like even
Yeah.
drinking, unless you're doing it socially, man, like don't fuck your body up.
Yeah. Shit.
People
That's
overdo it on liquor.
they sure do. I didn't see some people just get skunky off of alcohol, man, and it's
But for
like
no reason too. They
for
be starting
no
shit.
reason,
They
man.
start their own shit and then they
Yeah.
put it on somebody else.
It's like a ritual for some people with alcohol. Like,
Fuck.
yeah, man. So that's good. Have any of like these experiences, or like or have like made its way into like just your art?
Um, I'd say more than anything, probably like not too much from my childhood. Like maybe I don't think about it too much because when I'm writing, it's just like I'm writing like what I feel in the moment. So it's like I don't think I have like too many experiences where I like think of specific moments when I write. Like it'll just be like whatever comes to mind in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'd say like yeah, like my past definitely probably does have a lot to do with like the style of my music, like the what I'm saying, it's a little explicit, it's a little out there. Sometimes some of the things I say probably aren't the nicest, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just how I feel, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not the type of person who's just like I'm not gonna sit there and write and think about it and like, oh, if I say this, it's probably gonna offend people. It's probably gonna do blah blah blah, because you shouldn't have to worry about that unless you're saying some like super crazy shit that's like it's fucked up. Like if it's something that's not too bad and it's like you're just expressing a little bit about something, as long as what you're saying isn't like hurtful to like people, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. My music is definitely like it's to me it's like basically like if I was sitting in a room alone with myself, it's what I would create. The only times like that's the couple of songs with Perry, um, those are usually like a different vibe because it's like all we're chilling, we're figuring it out, probably drinking a little bit, getting creative. But when I'm with myself, it's like different because I get to be myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah.
embarrassed. I'm not like I just write what I'm write, put it down, and then if I like how it sounds, then that's what I'm saying. That's it.
Do you feel like music and shoot, for that matter, just the rest of like just the whole entertainment business itself has gotten too filtered and censored because like there's a lot of PC people, a lot of snowflakes out there that like that's ready to like come at them.
I think it's more so everybody wants to be relevant. So it's
Hmm.
like you'll hear somebody like I used to see that a lot. Like some people would say like especially politics. I don't really fuck with politics because I'm not. If I was to label myself, I'm pretty sure we talked about this before. I'd probably be a libertarian, which is I don't feel like you should be infringing on people's rights, or I feel like people should be allowed to do what they do as long as it's not harming other people. So if you want to fuck yourself up, if you want to do whatever to yourself, go crazy. Just don't do it to other people. You know what I'm saying? So like that's my view on it. Like I feel like people are entirely too like, especially with politics. Like the two things I stay away from mainly is politics and religion because it's like the more you talk about those things, like if you're talking to somebody that isn't like level headed and can't like what I'm saying understand that everybody has different views, they're gonna be like, no, this is reality. This is what because they believe it. So it's like if you're not talking to somebody who can actually like debate or like can like what I'm saying, it's not a good conversation because you're just like working each other up for what. So yeah, with politics, because right wing, left wing, like that's the only things. Like every time I talk about politics with people, it's like, oh, if I defend one person because I agree with like what happened on that side, they're like, oh, go suck Trump's dick, go suck. It's like suck Trump's dick or suck Biden's dick, and there's like I don't fuck with either of them. I'm just saying like he had a good point or
Exactly.
he had a good point. So it's like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, people like have a real problem with allowing people to be multidimensional and like and being able to have an open mind about about all things and that's really messed up, man. And there's a lot of extreme. That really is what it is a lot of extremists out there. We got a lot of people
yeah,
who just went so extreme one way or the other that like they feel like okay, well if you ain't on this side, you just wrong. And you're not able, you're not allowed to jump sides.
I think a
That-
lot of
That's
those
that's
people
game
are
banging.
like exactly. I was gonna say I think a lot of those people are just kind of like if you're an extreme like if even anywhere in the world like if you go to extreme I feel like it's because you were alone or something when you were a child so that's like
Mhm.
you kind of look for acceptance you wanted to find acceptance somewhere even if you knew it was going to be harmful or if you knew like so yeah I feel like those kind of people like that are just people who didn't have the proper like care they didn't have the right kind of people around them when they were younger.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. That's why people join gangs.
Yeah,
So, so this like become the alternative to a gang. So well, they like, oh well, I don't want to get jumped in and have to shoot nobody and
yeah,
do nothing gritty. So it's more safe to be behind the internet screen and gang bang that way.
yeah. And see I never seek that kind of thing out like
Yeah.
I never like kind of like I'll hang out with whoever. Like I don't care who you are as long as you're cool. Like if as long as you're not gonna fuck me up because I hang out with people that you don't like. If
Right.
that's the
Right.
case, then don't hang out with me. That's cool. Cut me off. But I'm not the kind of person who's gonna be like I can't fuck with you because I fuck with these people. I fuck with these people. Like if I don't see it as like, and that's why I never tried to get into like a game and I tried to be like affiliated with people because you can't have that. If you're
Yeah.
affiliated with people, you have to like put it all down for that specific cause. You know what I'm saying? And like, I didn't want to have to deal with that. So like, if I make friends with somebody, I don't ask what you're like, what's your side. I don't ask none of that shit. Like, it's just, well, you know what I'm saying? You are who you are. If I like you, if you give me a good first impression, we're gonna be cool until you show me that why we shouldn't be cool. And then even then, if we're not cool anymore, as long as you didn't do no grimy foul ass shit, if you need help, I'll help you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are entirely too like it's too quick to like ego. Ego is probably like the biggest like destroyer of man. Is what
Mhm.
I feel like.
That's real, man. You dropping some gems there, and like that's a huge relatable topic right now, and really people got this false sense of loyalty. They think they being loyal, but in the end, like I've been kind of trying to practice this myself. It's like, okay, you're not even being loyal to yourself, because like
Yeah,
at the end of the day, you're not that extreme. You don't believe that, like, one person or the other should be alienated, just based off of something silly that they can't agree on, or a color. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, man, that's good, man. I'm glad. Like, I'm glad that you putting that message out there. Speaking of messages, man, what type of message that you want people kind of walking away from, like when they listen to you for the first time, or if they see you on the screen, watching a short film that you may be a part of, or anything you're doing.
So I would say go into it having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Don't expect
Mhm.
anything. Expect
Okay.
expect to hear something new. You know what I'm saying? Expect to see something like from the see my style is kind of like I like the odd shit. I grew up watching Tim and Eric and like the Eric Andre show and Loiter Squad and all that kind of weird shit. So it was like um, I always like that kind of stuff. So my shit is kind of goofy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always like some weird shit. My music is not though. Like there's a lot of playful lyrics and like some try to be funny shit, but it's like
Yeah.
the music's more serious than the videos will be. Um, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not too like I don't like I just said have an idea. If I have an idea, I think it's gonna be funny. If I think it's gonna be good, because I don't want to do just like I don't want to put myself in one lane. I want to like if I have an idea for a video and it happens to be a horror movie or a horror
Mhm.
short, whatever, do that. If I want to make a comedy or make a little funny skit, go crazy. If I want to make an action thing, go crazy. You know what I'm saying? I like doing all that shit. I like sparring, like so like action videos and shit like that would be fun for me too. So it's just whatever my plan, because I had a 5 year plan for my business. So it's like I'm about to be in year three, which is going to be push all my stuff that's going on now forward. So I'm going to try and
Yeah.
promote. Next year, I'm going to try and promote the hell out of the business, get it to where I have a nice little fan base. And then at that point, it's like they'll let you know what they like. And you just kind of follow that as long as it's not like being too much of a follower. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't follow like trends and shit and try to be like too up on that. But like if it's what the people, if it's what a lot of people want to see and they think it's funny, why would you want to stop doing that? You know, or if they like a certain content, want to see more. You know, because there's times where it's like somebody, well, one hit wonders, or there'll be like somebody that makes a B movie or something that that they end up getting a cult following, and there's a lot of people that like that. So the way
Hmm.
I see like all that kind of stuff is like if I make something, and it doesn't matter if 100 people are like, bro, that was one of the cool that really influenced me. I like that. That's better than I don't care if 100,000 people tell me, oh, your shit sucks. If I have these 100 people telling me like it really helped me, it really did this. Well, fuck the other 100,000. You know what I'm saying?
I dig that. And I'm just here we go. Just trying to. Okay, we plugged in. For some reason we were unplugged, but I heard everything you said.
Yeah,
Um, man, that right there is so crucial. Like, being able to just capture, like, you know, uh, enough people that really authentically, feel you,
yeah,
versus, like, trying to please, like, these multitudes of people. That, it's impossible, man. You can't please everybody. But if you can find just a, a couple, more, even more than a couple, sometimes you need more than a couple, just 100 though, but 100 is a perfect number. If you can find 100 loyals, um, that truly, like, can appreciate the art and truly getting some message, yeah, that right there, makes a world of difference, and keeps your message, with substance. You're never going to dilute away from who you is.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I think that's good advice too, for for anybody coming up too. So, if we had to use that as advice, that'd be good advice too.
Yeah, that
Um,
definitely would be a good thing. Is don't try too hard to be unique that you end up just being like everybody else anyway. You know what I'm saying?
right,
People,
right.
some people try way too hard to be like, I'm different. They want to be so different that it's different, and then you just end up being like all the other people. Just be you, be who you are. Everybody likes different shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no two people are the same. I was taught that growing up, and the golden rule, all that kind of shit. Like, my grandma was Catholic and all that, so she taught me like a lot of respectful stuff growing up. So it was like, man, you can't just you can't do people bogus and then expect the same thing back. So it's like,
Sure okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
respect is like a big factor.
shoot, man. You got a lot of people that is doing people bogus nowadays. So you and yeah, they're not following the golden rule. Man, you on point, man. Um, now in terms of being the CEO of Dummy Slick Productions, I want to make sure we get that in, before
Yeah.
we get off to anything else before because we're getting close. Um, what what are your visions for that? And are you open to more artists, or you're just gonna keep it small for now? Not that it's small, because you guys got
Oh, it's pretty
got
it's pretty startup. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty like low to the ground still. But that's the point for now. Is like we're just trying to get enough content to, like, what I'm saying, with music wise. So the TH3 shit, like, that's the last, and then my solo album. So like songs total probably in the last year and a half I've made is like I'm almost at 30, and then with
hmm
the moon clip coming out, it'll be at like 26 or 27 or something like that. So that's a lot. And then they're not like just it's not like just like I sat there and just put out random shit. So it's like they're decent songs. I think they're decent. You know what I'm saying? So, and then with the production wise, like we're just planning on getting the right people together, working our ass off a little bit, kind of getting out of the hole, and then because I'm a sole proprietorship, so I don't
Right.
really have to worry too much about losing the business ever. So no matter what, even if unless I'm like hemorrhaging money or I took out a loan or something, I'm never going to lose the business. Um, so it's like no matter what, as long as I keep doing stuff, my plan is to become a big studio eventually and be like
hmm
putting out stuff. So of course, yeah, I'll work with, like, what I'm saying. If I have an idea, I put it out there. I'm like, hey, who wants to do this with me? If whoever does it, whoever wants to do it, if they're serious about it and they like, what I'm saying, like I do that with my music. I'll just ask like, who wants to be on this? Whoever hits me up and wants to be on that, we're on that. I'm not really worried too much about like, I'm not big. I don't ever see myself becoming one of those big people where I'm like, oh, I want 20,000 a feature. Like if I like you and you want to make a song with me, I'm gonna do it. So it's like the same thing with like my videos. If you want to be in my video, you know what I'm saying, just let me know. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because if you start something small, you just work at it. That's my goal. Like I've seen all my role models, like, what I'm saying, from like growing up, like they all did their shit. They did it themselves, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like they all started from the ground and then worked at it and worked at it and worked at it. And like there's people that like I've been following for like 5 years before they became mainstream. So it's like you watch that and like you watch them grow and build and shit, and then you're like, wow, like if these people can do it, and it took them 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Like that's a grind. So
Yeah,
they
it's
worked
a
their asses
run.
off. They didn't just get there for no reason. Like
Yeah.
some people get lucky and blow up, but those are the people. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll make a song that blows up, and then boom, now they fell off like 2 3 months later because they're actually dicks. Like people get to know them, and then they're just cunts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah,
So to
there's a
me,
lot
you
of
just
that,
gotta be
man.
able to be
I
in the
done
right.
read into a couple that I can't put their name out there, but read into a couple, man. Yeah. So, man, you got any events coming up, or any in person stuff coming up?
Um, no, not really. I think we might be having something set up for like doing a little local performance or something down by like an event, but I haven't really gotten too much. I'm about to start using. I think it was some VT sent it to me. It was called Indie on the Go or something like that. So that's
Okay.
like helps you find gigs and stuff.
hmm
But yeah, like I got different. Like I've been kind of like taking all my songs, put them in a folder, and then I'll take like sets, and I have like probably like 6 different sets right now of songs that would probably go good together.
Right.
So I was gonna kind of work on an edit of all the songs together, um, to make like a, what I'm saying, that kind of thing, to make performances, so that when I go, like I know what I'm doing. Um, yeah, but I don't mind. Like I don't really seek it out at the moment. Like I haven't been promoting myself to the point where I like go out and be like, hey, can I perform here? Like all that kind of stuff yet. But that's probably going to be as soon as I get, because now I'll have a comfortable amount of music where I can perform, where it won't get stale when I'm performing the same songs
hmm
over and over. I got like 25 to 30 to choose from now. So it's like if I do 6-song set over here one time, and then I go do the same set somewhere else, like the likelihood of them hearing them songs is different than if I just keep doing the same set somewhere. Um, so yeah, my plan is pretty basic. Probably trying to get there. Mainly this year was just to like put content out. I've been doing a lot of Twitch gaming and shit like that. So, but that hasn't even blown up. So like my thing is basically like I'm just gonna keep putting out content because then that one time like oh I have a video that so happens to blow up, then okay now I have 300, 400, 500 people coming in watching my videos. Okay, then, but that's way more than before. So if this one thing blew up, now those 500 people, if they're just watching through my shit and they see more that they like, the likelihood of just, that's what happens to people. They're nobody until they're somebody. You know what I'm saying? You just got to keep working hard at it.
That's true, man. Yeah, appreciate that, man.
Yeah, you've
Appreciate you
been doing
sharing
your
that.
thing too, man. Like you came from, you know what I'm saying? You were doing, now you got a whole legacy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, man. Like it just I can't even walk away from this now. Like
Right.
even when like I'm like tied up with personal life stuff, like there's still stuff for me to do like that I can like like literally like sit on and like it's just like it's crazy, man. And
Yeah.
and I encourage you to keep going too, man. You guys got like real good stuff, and you guys definitely going to be at a point where you're going to be not ignored at all. So I already see that. And you got a great team up behind you. You got us. Got my support. As well too, man. So
Oh
like,
yeah, for sure. I'll come into the studio one time if you're still doing that.
oh yeah,
I'll come
definitely,
out to Milwaukee.
yeah, 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 man. I'd love to have you back here in the studio too. Um, yeah, man. Just so like what I wanted to let you kind of lead off with is like kind of telling us like about um I know you mentioned where you can find the music, but kind of reiterate it to the audience again. Where we can find the music. How we can hit you up if if they want you for performers or if they just want to collab, those sort of things, man.
So if you want to collaborate with me, that would be my email, which would be dummyslickproductions at
Hmm.
gmail.com. So it's just like the website, dummyslick.com. So it's just the same thing, but with at gmail.com. So music, I use DistroKid. So it goes out anywhere that they send that out to. So Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon, like anywhere, probably basically anywhere you can find music. You just look up Dummy Slick and you'll find it. Little pink and purple with the bubbles, Dummy Slick. I'm not sure if there's any others. I'm probably the only one spelled DummySlick. Um, yeah, then YouTube, same thing, Dummy Slick Productions. Um, a lot of it's gaming content. We gotta get back into doing skits and stuff. So, and then Twitch, same thing, Dummy Slick. Um, yeah, that's about it. I got Facebook is just Chris Carls. You know what I'm saying? I like to keep just like I use my personal one for my Dummy Slick page, so it's like I just run that page off my regular Facebook. Um, Twitter I think is Dummy Slick. TikTok is Dummy Slick Productions. Yeah, that's about it.
That's dope, bro. Uh, so yeah, man. So we got that right there in the lower third. For those who are curious and wondering, it's right there, man. You can't miss it. We've been running the ticker too underneath, so you can have the correct spelling too of Chris' name. But we got it right there. You can find them on social media. Find the music on all distribution music platforms. Go ahead and get those streams up. Get the subs up on YouTube as well. And we definitely want to continue to encourage our brother, man. Who's he definitely been messing with us, man, for a long time now, and we're gonna continue to mend this relationship further. Brother, we look back to having you back on the show, and definitely whatever we can do for you, we gonna be here for you, brother.
Well, for sure. Thanks for having me again, man. Love it.
Okay.
Always a pleasure.
Oh yeah, indeed, indeed. So those who are watching or listening, make sure you share this episode once again, so that the message gets out further. Share it with someone you know, someone you don't know, and all of that stuff that I mentioned in the beginning. The like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to do that as well. I'm DJ Potential with Chris Carls here, a Dummy Slick Production CEO. He's doing his thing. He's on the rise, and we want to keep help him to escalate that rise. So until next time, many blessings, peace, and lots of love. This is WTLB, this broadcast Transform You Radio, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We out.